Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you are, and I don't think you are, one of those people who are really celebrating and honestly think that the United States of America and Russia right now, they open a new era of cooperation and partnership in order to make sure that this planet will be peaceful and taken care of in the name of, I don't know, love and happiness and kumbaya, don't fall for it. The reality is the opposite. They are not partners, they are just getting together in a little stabbing match. Before, they were using slingshots or something like that. Now they got closer and they're going to say, how are you doing? And they're going to use their knives in close combat. I have two articles here. Both of them have to do with the Russian spy agency. The Russian spy agency, we're going to call it CIA, the Russian CIA. It's easier, okay? So SVR, that's what it is. Russian Foreign Intelligence Services is SVR. There's a counterpart of CIA. In the first article, CIA and the SVR, they are talking to one another. They never stop talking. They tell you they stopped. They didn't. I guarantee you that. Even in the Soviet Union, which was the evil empire, determined to destroy capitalism and freedom, there were communications and economic cooperation between Soviet Union, those evil guys, remember, and the capitalist democratic West, the good people, right? So now it's still open. So the first one has to do with a conversation between the chief of CIA and the chief of SVR, Mr. what's his name? Sergei Narishkin. Sergei Narishkin and John Ratcliffe. All right, so that's the first one. The second one, we find out the reality. NATO prepares certain kind of attacks, and those are underwater attacks against Russia. Well, I thought they're friends now. No, they're not friends. They're competitors at best. I would call them enemies. All right, let's start with the first article. It comes from Russia Today. The second article also comes from Russia Today. 12th of March, a Russian spy chief holds phone conversation with CIA boss. And people who are idealistic, they think, idealists, they say, oy vey, that's fantastic, good job. No, keep your friends close and your enemy closer. That's what it is right now. Sergei Narishkin and John Ratcliffe have agreed to maintain regular contact to reduce tensions between the US and Russia. That means lying to one another more often. That's what it is. My friends, there's no friendship among intelligence services. There's no such a thing. It's I destroy you and you destroy me. That's what it is. I know as a child you think, oh, they're friends. Oh my God, we're gonna all be the Americans are coming. Oh my God, that we are all friends. No. The first time the person turns around, the other one's gonna get a dagger. And that's it. I won. You. All right, let's go and see what these guys are saying. Russian Foreign Intelligence Services, SVR, Director Sergei Narishkin has spoken on the phone with his CIA counterpart, with both agreeing to maintain regular contact. Fantastic, they're friends now. During the conversation which took place on Tuesday, the heads of the two agencies agreed to maintain a dialogue in order to promote international stability, and security, as well as to reduce tensions in relations between Moscow and Washington. Remember, once one of these guys is going to look sideways, the other person is going to get a dagger and do this. Narishkin and Ratcliffe also discuss cooperation, they're partners, between the two agencies on areas of mutual interest and the resolution of crisis situation. That is based on mutual interest. So there's like two big wolves. They're fighting with one another. And all of a sudden they say, that's a little sheep over there. A little bah. Let's get it, man. Let's go and together they go and dismantle the animal. That's what's going on. They're just redistributing their spheres of influence. The problem is we have other countries, big countries, important countries, that will not stand by idle. So, all right, the Russian intelligence chief has repeatedly signaled his readiness to maintain contact. Okay, keep it closer and so on. Next one. Russia Today, the next day, the 13th of March. NATO preparing underwater attacks against Russia. Putin aide Nikolai Patrushev, on the other hand, has warned that the bloc is developing new ways to target maritime infrastructure on oil tankers. Wait a second. I thought we're besties now. No? Okay. NATO is developing new methods to confront Russia, especially through underwater diversions targeting pipelines and tankers, according to Nikolai Patrushev, senior aide to Russian president. He emphasized that the tactics are predominantly being pursued by the bloc's European members, ignoring the recent restoration of dialogue between Moscow and Washington. Dialogue? That means they're talking. Enemies talk. Patrushev's statement follows NATO's recent announcement of an increased military presence in the Baltic Sea. The US-led bloc has launched Operation Baltic Sentry, an initiative aimed at boosting patrols in the region on the premise of protecting underwater infrastructure. This month, the EU also agreed to significantly boost military spending among its members, with Moscow accusing the bloc of heading down the path of militarization. In an interview with the National Defense Journal published on Thursday, Patrushev, who previously was secretary of the Russian Security Council, noted that NATO's latest actions follow a long tradition of using, and I'm quoting, threats as the main instrument of interstate relations. Maritime provocations have been part of the arsenal of subversive methods used by the West since the Cold War. He said, adding that judging by the EU decisions on the large-scale militarization of Europe, military threats to Russia port infrastructure and freedom of navigation are likely to increase. So, what do you think, my friends? War is going to be as it's going to be. There are some frustrated countries, in this case in Europe, and not only. The empire is collapsing and they know it. So they have to pretend that they're a little bit more flexible. And once, as I said, Russia looks like that, and then here I go again, like in 1991, back on the saddle again. Let's mention that song. So, my friends, it's good. These guys are talking, but don't have illusions that these guys are working for peace on earth and we're gonna have this and we're gonna have that. No, it's all interest. The interests are based on economic interest, financial interest, military interest. That's what it is. The military interest is just because you have the military-industrial complex. But the military is used by the banking system and used by the means of energy system, industry, to promote someone's interest somewhere on this planet. And in this case, the Russians and the Americans kind of realize, you know what, here is mine, this is yours, and screw everybody else. Like they did after the Second World War. Remember, after the Second World War, they fought the evil, whatever his name, right? Why? So he doesn't take over the world. And instead, they took over the world. And what did they do? I mean, if you think the communists were good, if you think that Stalin was good, then remember the West, the good West, the capitalist, the democratic, the civilized West gave half of Europe to Stalin. Just like that. They gave nations to criminal communists. They came over into socialist Eastern European countries and Central European countries and killed a lot of people. Now, I think that falls on these guys' head as well. So don't tell me about, we're going to make peace. It's not like that. It's based on interest. And that's financial, economic, as I said. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So prepare. Once one of these guys is going to look sideways, the other one is going to stab them in the back. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.